So what does African Imports at Redbird Mall, the Dallas Cowboys, and the San Francisco 49ers, what did they all have in common? Well, we're about to find out. Stay tuned. This is about to get really interesting. So tell me a little bit about how you've seen this place grow. Look out around you. How you seen this place grow? Raymond Ademegwu, owner of African Imports.
The park, the camp wisdom,
Uh-huh.
they've done a good job there. I give credit to them, it's growing. But here, the moms and pop stores, we suffer like this.
Redbird, a place with 5,300 parking spaces and more than 150 stores. A one-stop shopping place where people can eat, meet, and rest their feet.
They're inside. It's a confined area. People feel safe in there. They can shop late at night. They don't have to worry about the weather conditions.
Malls of the future might offer even more, adding auto dealers and home builders to the list, and taking money away from mom-and-pop operations.
80% occupied, it has fallen on some major hard times. The initial anchors were Sears, JCPenney's, Sanger Harris, and Titch's. The mall's decline really started during the mid-'80s, when crime began to escalate, and in '88 the Parks Mall opened in Arlington, which also led to fewer shoppers at Redbird. During the mid-'90s, there were attempts to renovate Redbird, and the name was changed to Southwest Center Mall. During the early 2000s, several of the stores closed, including a Dillard's, an Old Navy, and the mall eventually went into bankruptcy.
Southwest Center Mall is still open, but you can see how empty the parking lot is. Well, on Tuesday, there will be construction vehicles here, with the hope that a Starbucks will be the first step toward revitalization. This is the vision for Redbird Mall, an old name but a new development, complete with a park, restaurants, residential and office space, all riding on the shoulders of a Starbucks.
The challenge of this development is about shifting the mindset.
It's something that you see grow, you see opportunities coming. We've been waiting a long time for dirt to.
I remember so vividly as if it was yesterday, working at the cinema there. I remember Prince Purple Rain first came out. When it first came out, there was a line across the building. But now that place is a soccer facility. So just a little memory. So before we go forward, I think we might have to look back. Now, when they spoke of crime, which is what was the reason that Southwest Center Mall was supposed to fail, they didn't realize that there were crime bosses. Literally, the mall is connected to crime bosses, San Francisco 49ers, and Eddie DeBartolo, and Donald Trump, who pardoned Eddie DeBartolo. Southwest Center Mall was formed. So the DeBartolo name is synonymous with the San Francisco 49ers of the NFL. Real estate, wealth, and in some circles suspicious of mob ties. The 49ers made their seventh appearance in the Super Bowl and the DeBartolo family under their ownership. Eddie DeBartolo Sr., the family patriarch and architect of the family fortune, was one of the nation's most premier construction magnates during the second half of the 20th century and a pioneer in the development of modern-day shopping malls. He was long suspected of a series of business connections to several high-power organized crime figures. Federal authorities believe that he was helping launder their illicit gains through the myriad of business holdings, a la Redbird Mall. Purchasing the 49ers in the spring of 1977 for $18 million, he gave the team to his son, Edward DeBartolo Jr. to run. Now, DeBartolo Jr. went on to lead the franchise to great heights, winning 5 Super Bowls in the 80s and the 90s. Today, little Eddie's sister, Denise Bartolo, has any criminal charges, not said for DeBartolo Jr. Now, DeBartolo Sr. was born in Mahoning Valley. Now, in terms of mafia turf, Youngstown, in Ohio was always split between Cleveland and Pittsburgh crime families. Now, per an FBI dossier compiled in 1985, DeBartolo Sr. was close to the three Carambia brothers who represented the Cleveland mob in the area for decades. Now, Charlie the Crab Crambia was murdered in 1980 in a beef with his counterparts, the Pittsburgh crew, of stealing $60,000 in bribe money. According to the FBI records, DeBartolo Sr. turned to Charlie and his brothers for protection. And when he was being extorted by mobsters in Cleveland, by the way of a few firebombing campaigns launched against his shopping centers, storefronts in the 1950s, FBI agents followed DeBartolo Sr. and Crambia as they traveled together to Las Vegas on a number of occasions, where the Youngstowners went on a big money gambling sprees. You can read more about that in thegangsterreport.com. But after striking a deal to provide evidence against former Governor Edwards of Louisiana, Edward DeBartolo Jr., the co-owner of the San Francisco 49ers, again, the team was handed over to him by his father, who had ties to the crime bosses. He pled guilty to concealing an alleged extortion plot by him and Governor Edwards that involved the licensing of riverboat casinos. Wow. Redbird Mall has a lot of crime involved in it, and it's not just black crime, as we can see. Now, under the terms of this plea agreement, Judge Parker sentenced Mr. DeBartolo to 2 years probation and ordered him to pay $250,000 fine and to forfeit any federal government money paid to him, which was $400,000 by Governor Edwards, and provide up to $350,000 in restitution. Also, he had to give up his controlling interest in the 49ers. Well, along comes Trump, who pardons DeBartolo Jr., who also owned the former Pittsburgh Penguins. He had failed to report the extortion that he paid $1 million in fine. So that's why they ended up taking the team away from him. Now, interesting enough, the Jack Ruby connection is that the DeBartolo family used to hang out at the Campese's restaurant, which is located downtown, and it used to be the Egyptian Campese's over on Mockingbird. Joseph Campese, possible ties to organized crime, came up after Jack Ruby's shooting of Lee Harvey Oswald, because just 2 days after Oswald assassinated President Kennedy in downtown Dallas on November 22nd, 1965, according to a report, in the archives from the U.S. Selective Committee on Assassinations, Ruby had eaten at the Campese restaurant the night before Oswald was shot Kennedy. Wow. And in this report, the committee noted that law enforcement files contain information suggesting that Joseph Campese occupied a position in organized crime. But the committee also said it could not confirm or refute the alleged connection between the mob. Federal agencies say the owner of the Dallas iconic Italian restaurant, is a large illegal sports bookie with ties to internet bookmaking, websites in Costa Rica, according to search warrant mistakenly unsealed by prosecutors obtained. Now, this is a story by NBC5. So they ultimately did find that the family later was still involved in some form of organized crime. So there you have it. Now, this is where the old Emacio Smith High School was located. Now, it is a church now. Prior to that, it was the first mall in southern Dallas. It opened in 1955 on the corner of Keystone and Beckley and had a split-level open-air shopping mall. It was the first mall-type shopping in the city of Dallas. Big Town Mall being the first. It was too close to the mall in Southwest. It was the Nolan Estes Plaza. The result of the redlining still persists in this area. A lot of people moved out because of the bonds and the clothing industry, and the opening of Redbird Mall ultimately closed this mall. Now, as you can see, this mall has been through a lot. Many different hands have touched it. It has been steeped. It started out in crime. So you can't blame the surrounding community, but we have to go back, all the way back to African imports. 32 years, this man has stayed here within this community. He sells items that you cannot find in other places. Specialty shoes, specialty clothing. It is called African imports for a reason. Currently, he is fighting for his retail life because the mall, he believes the mall has gentrified and does not want a store like his there anymore. Also, he feels that the corner that he's located is a highly sought after corner. As you can see, he has books. You will not find these books in other stores, not since the closing of Black Images. Pan-African Connection has kind of picked up the mantle, but as far as Southwest Center Mall, he's it. They said, what was the issue? That
The mannequin was outside, The black, I think it was the black mannequin that was the issue. And I changed my black mannequin to white mannequins, and it still wasn't enough.
Wow. Now, this is the mannequin that he had back in the 1990s when he ran into his initial problems with the mall. And since then, obviously, times have changed. But he still has many different customers who are loyal to him.
Turmeric, orange peel, things like that. It has a refreshing taste to it. And you can't find this.
But this store right here.
This store right here.
Appreciate you.
Well, I'm the soap and shea butter. I've been coming here for some years now, so
Years.
So you come like every week?
Yeah, every week. Yeah.
Every week.
Yeah.
All right, let's wish him luck, bro.
All right, wish him luck.
All right.
What I wanted to do yesterday, before you left, was kind of to give you a history of my time in this mall. So I came here in 1991, October 1991. And when I came, there was only like a tobacco shop. I just left. That tobacco shop was only like 600 square feet. And I took it. And eventually, I built and took over the whole corner. Because the whole corner was where the tobacco shop was.
Okay.
Right here.
Yes.
I did this. I built this. I built this. I built this.
You built this.
I built this. I built this.
And they took it away.
And they took it away. This is 4 stores combined. There on the corner, it was empty. And I built it up. So every time I built something, and I raised it up, they want it. This was empty. This was empty for years before I built it. On that corner where I was empty for years before I built it. All right? And when I was here, I built this neighborhood here was good. It was never like this, because my store brought in black people.
So you started here in 1991.
1991. October 1991.
Okay.
That the battle brought me here. 1988. And I worked for a company called EDS. Used to be owned by Ross Perot. The only tenant that did that. I'm the only tenant in this mall that has built 2 stores. 2 stores. Okay, people have done some remodeling, They remodeled some stores, but they have not built it.
Right.
I built it, So this really hurt me. I think I don't know what's gonna happen. I might eventually lose everything. Maybe I should. Maybe it would. I don't know. But this is like the destruction of the soul of a black man. This is like the Tulsa, Black Wall Street in Tulsa, So you do something, they take it.
You think this is a prime location? This is the main entrance to
It
the
was
mall
not
right now.
prime when I came.
But it is now. So you think somebody want it?
I made it prime. I made it prime because when I came here, it was empty. It was, if it was such a prime, how come it was empty?
Right.
Yes.
Right.
I made it prime.
You made it prime.
I made
just
it
like you made the other corner prime.
Yes. So whenever I develop something, they take it. They take it, you know? There was nobody here. It was completely empty. Wyatt's cafeteria used to be over there.
Wyatt's cafeteria was here?
Over there, yeah. It was empty for 10 years.
Wow.
That spot was empty for 10 years, man. Nobody was here. So every time I build something, they take it. You know? So like I said, the reason why I'm doing this with you is because I know this guy, they're powerful, they have more money than me. I mean, I can fight them in court, but I don't want this to keep happening to black people, you know? Or happen to another black business.
So you think there's somewhat of a gentrification that's going on in this mall right now?
I think so, of course, yes.
And they don't need an African import store anymore.
I don't know what they, man, I cannot read their mind, okay? But there's something happened over there. You follow me?
Right.
There's something happened over there. And now it's happening over here. So, I don't know, I cannot read their mind.
So they want you out in 30 days, correct?
Yeah, they gave me, on December 18th, they gave me a notice in the middle of Christmas, you know?
And who is they? The management company here?
Yes. West Camp Wisdom Road, LLC.
Okay, all right. So they haven't given you the option to maybe move in somewhere else, or?
I was never given an option.
Do you want that option if it's available?
They should have given it to me, you know? For being here for 32 years, the oldest tenant in the mall, you know? And I was not given that option.
So if you leave here, where do you go?
I don't know. Like I told you, I'm willing to lose everything. I just wanted this to be out in the public, you know? Raymond Odimegu, Raymond, last name Odimegu, Odimegwu.
You want to say before I end?
I just want to tell my customers, their customers, thank you for 32 years of support.
Yes.
Thank you for 32 years of support. We're being kicked out of the mall. I leave everything to God, and I'm not worried about nothing. All right?
All right. God bless you.